Hi, loves. It's Sonia G. This is our live mini training on transitioning to 5D. Yay! We are doing this thing. We're doing this thing. Welcome, welcome. We're gonna just light a candle while everybody jumps on and set some intentions. We also have some incense. So let's light the big candle for like the whole world, shall we? Let's light the big galactic candle. So take a moment, take a breath, exhale, one more breath. And let's set an intention as we light the candle. Mentally, just light it with me. Or light yours if you have one. There we go. Setting an intention. Set an intention that you will receive the information that is meant for you at this time. That you will be able to receive the knowledge and the information that you need, that is needed for you, in the way that you need to hear it. Okay, and if there's any specific things that you want answers on, set that intention now. And then let's set an intention for our entire planet, a higher intention that includes everyone. Really setting an intention for peace, for everyone to feel at peace, to feel love, to feel joy, to feel like there's divine alignment in all the things, and to really just exude that and mean that for everyone, like really feel it for everyone, okay? Peace. And we're gonna light our incense. You can just light it with me. We bring in all the elements, so we're bringing in the elements of smoke, mystical element of smoke. Also because this is Nang Champa, it helps to clear the energy, and it just feels so good. And we wave it in a figure 8 because it clears the room. And there we go. And it will burn for us through this time. So we have lots to talk about, and I will take questions at the end. There's so much that is changing on our planet. So first time live, yay. I'm glad that you guys are able to join live. This is amazing. So, actually, before we do this, let's get grounded really quick, and then we'll really get into it, okay? So that the information has somewhere to go for you. And this is something that I want to talk to you about, so don't skip this part, okay? It's important that when we learn new things that are high vibrational things, that you are grounded, because if you are not grounded, you cannot pull the knowledge to retain it. Do you ever feel like you listen to something and then wait, I thought I knew that, but I don't, right? Like, or I did this meditation, but it didn't last. Or I learned this, but it didn't stay with me. You're not grounded, okay? When you're grounded, then the energy has a place to ground. And so it has a place to land, and it has a place to stay in you. I mean, there's a whole lot more that goes into that, but the bottom line is you have to be grounded, okay? So let's begin there, because this is high vibes. So rub your feet on the ground if you can, unless you're driving, but hopefully you guys are all sitting down. So rub your palms together, activate the energy in your palms, rub your feet together on the ground if you're sitting, if you're standing, okay? Activate the energy field underneath your feet. These are your chakras, okay? Take a deep breath in, close your eyes. Close your eyes if you can, and hold the breath into your heart. You can put your hands on your heart, connect to your heartbeat. Exhale. Inhale again into your heart. Big inhale. Hold the breath here. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your electrical impulses from your heart. Feel your love. Feel your amazingness. Hold the breath. And then exhale. Push it down. Down to your feet. One more time. Just like that. Inhale into your heart. Hold the breath. Connecting to your heart, to the higher frequencies, to the essence of who you are. And then exhale the energy down to your feet. And then breathe here, connecting from your feet to the light grid on the planet. ask and set an intention to ground to the highest vibrational frequency available to you right now, okay? So breathe, exhale, expand your light from the bottom of your feet, and that's where you want to ground. Visualize the light grid. All of the beautiful energy workers, light bearers, grid keepers, way showers, all of the people of the light connecting to the grid. Beautiful. Okay, and then we're going to inhale and then exhale all the way down through the layers of the earth, through the grid, all the way down, 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 down. Go all the way down to the magic, to the love, to the fairies and the devas and the crystal kingdom and the magic of Mother Earth. One more big inhale. Exhale, go all the way down. Boom, connecting heart to heart, love to love, higher frequency of this moment in time that we're sharing, syncing up with Mother Earth. Feel supported. Breathe here. Expand your light. Feel connected. Feel the magic. Feel the love. Feel like Mother Earth has your back. Feel the support. Okay? Really connect and ground into all the magic that is available to you. If you don't feel this connection, practice it. This is vital, okay? So land here, make friends here, hang out here. Mother Earth wants to love on you. And then inhale that love back up. Feel the magic, the love, the amazingness. Feel like the light of Mother Earth just wrapping you in light all the way up. One more breath, bring it all the way inside your body. Through your feet, through all of your legs, all the way through, up your spine. You feel the zings and the tingles, right? All the way up to your heart. Connect heart to heart, and then exhale. Find yourself up at your third eye. There we go. Inhale into your third eye, behind your eyes, forehead. Hold the breath there. Ask that you may be guided, that you may be shown your path, the steps ahead. Set the strong intention beyond doubt that this is your moment, this is your time, this is when you know, this is when your knowledge comes. Your time is now. All the answers, all the knowledge being made aware for you, being made visual or received or heard or seen, however you work with your senses, okay? Right there, set that intention so strongly, so powerfully. Then inhale up to your crown chakra above your head. Beautiful lotus flower blooming and fairies dancing a dance of light on top of your head, activating all of your divine wisdom right here. Whoo, beautiful, okay? And then connect with your higher self. Breathe that light in from the heavens. Imagine just blessings and love and light. All the way in. Bring them into your heart. Love, the angels are raining down amazingness on you, right? Connecting with your higher self, pulling in your higher knowledge, pulling in the essence of who you really are. One more big breath in. All the way through your higher chakras into your heart. Hold the breath. Feel your heartbeat now. And exhale. And when you're ready, here we are. So now, from that place, see how you feel a little different? From that place, now you're able to receive. Now you're able to house information. Now your energy is flowing, right? Now you're like, your vehicle, your body is like active and you can receive and you can ground. So here we go. Welcome to our live mini training. This is Sonia G, and I'm so excited that you guys are here now that we're all really present. Okay, so we're talking about transitioning to 5D today, and we are going to talk about grounding and tapping into the higher frequencies. We're going to talk about awakening and how now it has to be a quantum awakening. We're going to talk about symbols and what they mean and how they got distorted in today's society. We're going to talk about feelings and how to defeat the alchemy of feelings, okay? And how feelings are taking you places energetically where you don't want to go. We're going to talk about different healing modalities. We're going to talk about ascension symptoms and why they're happening and what you can do about them. We're going to talk about the galactic family of light, and we're going to talk about who you are. So we got lots to talk about, okay? Let's get started. All right. So grounding and tapping into the frequency, it's the process that we just did, okay? And there's a grid on planet Earth. This is the grid where we are all connecting to, from the chakras underneath our feet, okay? This is the light worker grid. Well, today, if you saw my stories, this grid, this is where the 3D reality, you guys know the D's, right? The dimensions, like the D's, these are like where things are created. The 3D, the 5D, the 7D, like the odd D's, they're the physical realms. The even D's are the mental planes, okay? So right now, we don't have 3D anymore. And these are actually grids. Everything is always created first in energy, and then it takes form, okay? These are the rules. Like it says in the Bible, in the beginning was the word. The word is sound. Sound is energy and frequency. And then it goes back to creation. So physical creation, okay? So 3D is gone. The grid is gone, which is why a lot of people, like we shattered it, right? It's done. It's blown up. It is gonzo. So if you're used to grounding in a place where you don't know, because you just put your feet on the ground, on the grass outside, but you don't know where your energy connects to, you don't know where you're going, okay? So it's time to be very intentional about where your energy connects to. And that's where you want to know where you're going. You have to use your intention to drive where your energy goes. Okay, you have to be intentional. We are out of time. Everyone is out of time to say, well, I didn't know. Well, nobody taught me. Bullshit. Intention. Okay, like that time is done. That time is done. That time is done. If you didn't know, then find out. If you didn't know something and you don't feel fucking amazing every day, then discover what the fuck you don't know. Okay, that's really strong, but it's just that time. It's like, do you want to feel like shit every day? Do you want to like turn on the news and live in this 3D bullshit that they're feeding you? I don't think so. You wouldn't be here, okay? So it's time to take responsibility for yourself. Learn how to drive your energy. If you don't feel good, learn what it is that's happening inside of your body so that you can feel good, okay? Number one, you have to ground. You have to ground to the higher energies. If you're not grounding into the higher light grid, you're going to feel like shit, okay? You're going to feel like you're tapping into the collective unconscious. This is where the bullshit is. This is where the fear is. This is where everybody's like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. And there's fucking this and there's that. And now they're telling me this. And now we're stuck here. And now we're on lockdown. And there's a pandemic. Like all of that shit, okay? And then you're like, why do I feel like shit? Well, you just grounded into the wrong grid. And so you have to be aware, you have to be careful, because when you connect to the wrong frequency, it's like a radio station, okay? Our grid system, it's like a radio station. If you connect to the wrong grid, you're listening inadvertently, because you don't realize this, but you're listening, you're picking it up from your feet, okay, to the shit. And today, the 5D grid got infiltrated, which means that because we don't have the 3D grid anymore, because there's a battle going on. It's very clear now to everybody. There's light and there's darkness. There's the good guys, there's the bad guys, and the bad guys ain't fucking around, okay? So you gotta know your shit. That's in order to feel good and to feel like you are on the path that you need to be. That's really what it comes down to, because the bad guys want you to feel like shit so that you give your power away so that they can create, you know, the situation that they want to create on Earth. So your job is to feel good and take your power back. Well, how do you do it? There's a lot of ways, okay? So point is, wherever you go to feel good, so you're tapping into 5D, you're like, oh my gosh, it's a 5D grid, this is great. You don't realize that the bad guys, it's like a holographic insert. They insert holographic realities. And if you're not trained, if you don't know how to actually I check the grid and I check what happens every day. These are like the higher level skills that I teach in my higher courses. And so I go in and I check and I see what's happening. And I was like, you motherfuckers, because as you learn to expand your energy, you see it, and the energy signature is different. So you have to learn how to recognize on a higher level. When you get really, into this stuff, you learn how to recognize the energy signature of the structures and of the things and of the people, okay? And so they're putting in buildings and things and energies on the 5D grid that are not ours. They're not new Earth, Okay, so be careful. Tap into, always ask to be grounded into the highest frequency grid available to you, the highest frequency in general. Don't worry about the grid. Tap into the highest frequency available to you. You always want to be in your highest alignment. You don't want to be in like half-ass alignment, right? You don't want to be in like yesterday's alignment. You want to be like on today's highest vibe alignment. That's where you want to be. So, okay. Then you will know. Then you will receive like light and information, which is energy. So what happens if you tap into a grid, if you tap into energy lines that are filled with crap and with, junk and yucky and unconscious energy, you feel tired. You feel like your energy is being leached. You feel like you're not happy and you don't know why. You feel like, what the hell is going on? Like you feel these feelings and you're like, you think that you're picking them up, which we also, they are also all, flying around per se, but you're not supported. Basically, you're grounding into a structure that's not supporting you. This is so important because you guys, on Saturday, this Saturday, Pluto goes retrograde into Capricorn. If you don't figure out how the fuck to ground to a higher dimensional grid right now, you're going to be so lost over the weekend, okay? So I'm telling you now, and I'm telling you strong, not because I want to scare you, but because I want to wake you up that you have to learn this right now. Not tomorrow, not the next day, not this weekend. Get outside after this thing and do it now, okay? Like, there's just no time. And I mean, you can always feel like shit. Everybody's welcome to feel like shit, but I don't think you want to. I think if you're here, you actually want to do something, okay? So this is why I get so strong and so like, on top of it, because otherwise, if we sit here and be like, love and light and amazingness, and you just want to feel good, that doesn't give you any sense of urgency. This is urgent. This is like light workers, rah, urgent, okay? This is not like, let's just meditate some light in. This is motherfuckers, we're going to war, and we have to have our light armor on, right? Like it's like that. It's like that intense kind of energy. So Pluto's the planet of destruction. Capricorn represents the government and the structures and all the things. So starting this weekend, it's going to be massive catastrophe shit. So if you don't know where to ground, you're going to be lost. Remember that, okay? If you find yourself lost, then go back to say, that girl that was like losing her shit telling us to do all of these things. Okay, maybe I should go back to that video and listen again to what she said. That's good. Okay, so remember, you have a way back. It doesn't matter if we screw up. We always have a way back. Okay, I'm saying it so strongly for it to really just like, whoa, for you to feel it. But if you feel like shit, Saturday comes and you're like, I got this. Sunday then comes and you're like, I don't got this. Okay, go and go back, adjust. We can always choose again. We can shift like every minute, right now. You can shift, you can choose again. Okay, so this is not about judgment. This is not about screwing up. This is not about not knowing. This is about choosing always higher, okay, and better. So let's say that. Okay, so basically, what you don't want is to feel like you don't have a ground, like you don't have a structure to hold you. And that's the feeling that's about to happen in a bigger way, emotionally speaking. Okay, it's already kind of happening, but emotionally, the invisible part of it hasn't happened yet. So prepare yourself, because if you know how to ground onto yourself, if you know how to claim your power, if you know how to claim your sovereignty, then you're not worried about that. Because this is the thing, this was my intention. You're not worried about anything. This was my intention in creating the Metaphysical Mastermind, and I stated on there because no matter what happens, okay, if you know how to manage yourself, how to regulate yourself, how to work your own energy, to always know how to feel good, how to receive the answers, and how to manifest the reality that you want to live in, you don't need anything else, right? You just don't. So, hang on. And that's the thing. That's the thing that we want to create, is a reality that is emanating from our own higher frequency. okay? Not from a lower fear frequency, but from a higher frequency. And so your world responds to you, which is the reason why there are people during this time that are doing amazing, and there are people that are like doing very, very badly, right? We're all in the same general world, but it's how you live. It's how you be. It's how you do. And it's how you regulate yourself. We're all dealing with the same photonic energy blast from the sun. We're all dealing with the same planetary alignments. We're all dealing with the same, situation in the world and the news. How is your belief system doing coming up against these things? Are your beliefs holding up? Are your beliefs being shattered? Is your energy flowing? Is your energy constricted, right? So there are things that you learn how to do and that you know how to do that hold you in a place that even though the world is crumbling, you're okay. You're safe. You know what to do. You know how to receive guidance, and you know the next steps. So that's the thing. Okay. Next, awakening. Awakening is a thing that happens when you realize that shortcut, okay? This is your birth in a system to bust the system. This is really, let me shortcut this for you. The shit that you decided to learn and live through when you were a child, okay? Quit blaming it on your parents or your circumstances. This is like the very short version. And I understand that there's feelings involved, but the thing is, those are the feelings that were needing to be dealt with in the last decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, whenever, last year, 2 years ago. This was the time to really dive into and break through these wounds and all this stuff. Now, you got to do it like this. You don't have time, because manifesting went like this. So anything that you hold inside manifests on the outside. So if you're holding wound, victim, anger towards your family, fears of when you're being a child, all those energies, you've got to let them go, because you're going to keep manifesting them. So you're really out of time. Find someone to work with that can work with you on breaking through, rewriting that NLP, quantum breakthroughs, regressions. Find a therapist to work with you. If you know that you're carrying baggage, okay, or take a course or whatever, but I'm saying you don't have to work with me, but work with someone that you feel connected to, that will be able to shift this for you, because you're out of time. And you're out of time because the stuff keeps coming up for you, and then you keep manifesting shit that you don't want to, right? If your world is not looking the way that you want it to in your daily life, then you got shit to work through. It's really easy. If you don't like the reality that you're living, then you have things to work through. Very easy. Okay, so not your parents' fault, not the people in high school's fault, not the whatever's fault, okay? This is a shortcut of the breakthrough. You learn, oh, hey, I picked those battles to learn these things. I picked this stuff so that I could break through these patterns. Oh my God, this is why I was born in such a position. Oh my gosh, this now makes sense. This is what happens in your awakening. Oh my gosh, I'm not just gonna live and breathe and eat and get entertainment cycle and then die. Oh my God, there's more to life. Oh my God, there's our angels. Oh my gosh, I can see things. I remember why when I was a kid, everybody told me to shut up because I could see angels and nobody could, right? I remember, oh my gosh, this is the world we live in. We've been deprived. We've been frequency controlled. Holy fuck, the government is lying for years. Holy shit, all of these things start to happen and you're oh my God, dark night of the soul, boom, crumble, 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 okay? Tears, breakdown. You go through it, you can't figure it out, you gotta deal with your ego. Deal with the ego gotta go. You gotta you gotta be able to whip the ego. The ego will serve you well. You must conquer the ego. That's the challenge of the dark night of the soul. You have to come out on top, in charge, okay? With the ego serving you, because the ego has the ability to give you strength, but you have to ride it like a horse, okay? This is solar plexus stuff. So you have to learn how to manage that. This is your emotions, thoughts, emotions, belief systems, okay? You have to rewire all that. Today I was looking at so often I say there's all these memes that go around from all these big spiritual accounts. Like, you have to relearn everything you know. Like, one of the big accounts today posted one of the Matrix things. Like, what if I told you had to unlearn everything? Well, now what the fuck? Do you know what that means? Do you guys know how to do that? Like, we keep recirculating this information, right? But how do we do that? How do we do that? And so you have to take the time to do the things. You have to take the time to do the things. And granted, we can't do this over social media. You actually have to get a coach, get in a course, get in a container, because these are things that take time. This is not something that you can do in a post, or you can do, in a training like this. You actually have to be able to feel safe enough and courageous enough. Like, you have to summon your courage to deal with some of the deep shit and then come through on the other side. And then, do the work on the other side, and then do the work to turn over your cells, and then do the belief systems, install new belief systems, let go of the dark stuff, forgive. There's so much forgiveness, so much clearing, so much forgiveness, right? All of that stuff. So basically, yeah. All of the things that we were doing, like the trainings, like whatever, like what were they called? Like the CEDU Foundation, the impact training, like even the trainings that I did like 13 years ago, that's not applicable anymore, because you can't go through those things. Like, that time is done. That chapter is done. Kind of like, after understanding what's happening in the world now and seeing what like the government's agenda is and what they're pushing through in entertainment, you may not ever go to a Lady Gaga concert again, ever, because you know that they're pushing satanic images at you all throughout the concert. Like, that time is done, right? That time is done. Like, the chapter has changed. This has changed. So this has changed. And the level at which you have to show up and work through the things has changed. You can't actually go through it the old school way. You can't take like this long time. You just have to quantum leap it. Which brings me into talking about, actually, let's have this parenthesis since we just brought up the entertainment world. The symbols. Okay, let's talk about the symbols. The symbols are, but the other thing that it ties into is the alchemy. So we'll talk about that after. So the symbols. What has happened throughout the history of the planet and society is that the people that understood the knowledge, decided, they warped these symbols, like the triangle. A lot of people ask me about the triangle, or the all-seeing eye, because I always post things that have to do with the third eye, okay? That is a good thing that they turned into shit, right? Like, this is what happens because they don't want you to understand the power behind certain symbols, and so they become bad. They make them tarnished. They make them wrong, okay? So that then you're like, ooh, that's bad. Let's not even look at it. Like, for example, a pentagram. There is so much power in a pentagram. A pentagram holds the star with the circle. It holds the power of the elements, okay? It can be used for the light. It can be used for the darkness. Well, they made it really popular in the dark world. So now your mind associates it culturally, okay, with dark shit. So now you're like, pentagram. So you never look at the positive properties of it, right? Same thing that they did with like witches back in the days. Like, ooh, the witches are bad. But they were actually the healers of the Middle Ages, right? In those times. But they called them witches so that everybody ran the other way and they burnt them at the stake. They made it bad. They make things bad that they don't want you to know. They make them not cool, okay? Because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to have this power. They don't want you to have knowledge, okay? So they feed you this shit on the dark side, okay? All things exist. Remember, we are here experiencing separation and duality, which means there's the light, there's the darkness, okay? So all things can be used in both ways. There's white magic, there's black magic, okay? Like, it's like that. So that's what the symbols are about. So don't be scared. Learn how to discern. Develop your intuition. Develop your mind. Begin to think for yourself in a very critical way. Quit believing what other people tell you. Even what I tell you. Question everything. Stop asking people for opinions. Stop asking your friends for fucking opinions, okay? Make up your own opinions. From what to wear, to what's your color, to what the fuck your angels and guides are, okay? All the things. Grow up, find your own opinion, okay? This is like, it's one of those basic things. You have to learn to think for yourself. Very, very important. Inside out, not outside in, okay? Inside out, you emanate your own frequency out. Don't take in other people's opinions. This is why when you make it to a certain point, we make it to a certain level. Do you guys think I could ever, I don't ever ask for opinions. You know how some people are like, what do you think? Should we do this? Should we do that? I don't ask that ever because I know, okay? I know. I talk to my higher self, this, okay? I ask you guys if you would like the thing that's coming to me, and if you would resonate with me doing it now, that's different. But I don't ask you, hey, what do you guys think? This or this? Right? No, that's not the point. The point is you have to download it and you have to know, okay, for yourself. Like, do you think that I would have ever, like, and for some of you, this is actually very valuable for any of you that are light workers, that are healers, that have a practice, that have a business, okay? When you put your plan together and you're like, holy shit, I'm actually going to put this stuff, I'm going to put a package, I'm going to teach a course, I'm going to teach a class, I'm going to start doing sessions, right? When you're like, ooh, and then you have this moment where you're like, oh, maybe I should ask my friend so-and-so what they think. Don't do it, okay? Do not do it. Be led, be guided. Always know that the thing that you're doing and what you're putting into the world is the thing that you're meant to do. Because your friends are not you. They don't understand you. They don't understand your higher self. They don't know your energy line. They do not know your purpose. So they will give you things in your mind, okay, that you're like, oh yeah, what if I'm doing it wrong? Hold your own energy, hold your frequency, be your own genius. You're here for it. Show up for yourself, okay? That's very, very, very important. You have your gifts. Nobody else has your gifts. Like, you're here to share your gifts, not ask opinions to other people on how your gifts should be shining. You got that? Very important, okay? Okay, let's talk about feelings. And so we're clear on the symbols. I don't know how we got into all these things, but symbols. Let the symbols speak to you. Sort through. Learn how to critically, this is what I was saying, critically think for yourself so that you can sort through the stuff. Because Google, not necessarily your friend, right? So learn how to read the energy of things and think for yourself so that you know if you are tapping into something that is good or into something that is like, the energy of that is not so resonating with myself, okay? There. And there are people, like, I get, I'm happy to answer questions like especially in the groups. I mean, this is my job, right? So I will always tell you the truth of what is in alignment with the things that I see. Like, if you're going to ask questions to someone, ask questions to someone that has, like, the energy that I hold, right? You feel it. You're like, well, she's going to tell me the truth. She might say it in a way that, like, I don't really want to hear it, but she's going to tell me this, or things like that. Like, you can have reference people, but don't ask, like a mechanic how to peel your pear. I don't know why that came to mind, but you know what I mean? Like, don't mix apples and the oranges, doesn't even make sense. But, like, things that are not, like, people's expertise, like, just don't do that. It will just confuse you. Okay. All right. Let's talk about feelings. Feelings take up space inside of your body. If you watch the video that I shared last night, I can't remember who it was from. It came to me through, actually my mentor Gary sent it to me, and he's like, hey, you might want to look at this. And it was about the feeling love and connection at 11 and then 11 again, which is like a very basic thing. But one of the doctors in that video talked about how they can measure your thoughts from an input that happens outside of your brain. So instead of like an encephalograph scan, which I believe is what it's called, like the brain scans, like an electrocardiogram, like electrical impulses, right, from the heart and the brain, they don't have to actually attach the things to your brain. They can measure it from out here, which means your thoughts are not just inside of your brain. They're out here. Okay, so there's actual physical proof now that you're beyond your, I just hit my nose. You're beyond just your physical body, including your thoughts. Your thoughts are not contained. Your thoughts are everywhere. Your feelings are also everywhere. This is how you attract your reality. Like I posted today. Your thoughts are electric. That's why they're measured. Okay. Your feelings are magnetic. Magnet. What do magnets do? They attract things to you. So if you think a thought that is electrically charged, like, crap, like I don't feel good enough or whatever, like, oh my gosh, this world is going to hell. It makes you feel like shit. You feel like shit, and all of a sudden you're sending out magnetic impulses of feeling like shit. Guess what's going to happen in your reality? Something that makes you feel like shit, more shit, more shit, more shit, because you are manifesting it from your thoughts, okay? Which is why there's a lot of things out there that says change your thoughts and change your reality. That's why. Your thoughts influence how you feel, okay? So your feelings take up space inside of you. And if you have wounds, if you have anger, resentments, guilt, jealousy, bullshit, any kind of bullshit, any kind of like, I'll show you, or, whatever, anything, that shit gotta go, because you are now 100% attracting it back to you. Whatever you hold inside, there's no filter for that shit, because you're holding it inside, but it's also outside here. And what's outside here, like in your aura, right, in your energy field around you, you're gonna attract. So the people that have figured out how to manifest a life that works, it's because we figured out how to regulate our mind, which figures out, right, like energetically how to connect mind and feelings and reprogram with new belief systems and feel good. So then you manifest a reality that you want around you. And this is possible. So it's not like, oh yeah, well, that's because of you, blah, 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 blah. Whatever in your mind is saying that's bullshit. Anybody can decide and actually take the time to learn how to do it and then do it. Okay. So, you just have to sit. You have to be willing to sit with yourself a lot. I often say this story, like the very first time that I decided that I wanted to tap into myself and see my own aura, I stared at myself for 6 hours straight in the mirror. I sat down, I put a mirror on the ground, and I was like, I'm going to see what I'm made of. And I stared at myself for 6 hours. That was a really long time. Are you willing to do that? Like, it's just, you have to be willing to do things. And maybe that's not necessary for you, because right now, that was like forever ago. So right now the rules have changed, but like, it's not like, well, I didn't get there this time. Let's try again tomorrow. You don't have very many tomorrows left in a way of, that sounded a little crazy. Like, but the time is running out. Like, you feel it inside. You feel it. You feel like time is running out, right? Like, we're coming up against major shit in our world. So it's time to wake up, because we have to change that out there. Everything that's happening in the world, these vaccines, this bullshit, all this tech stuff that's happening, okay? If we don't change the inside of how we feel, we're going to continue to manifest that shit on the outside. We have to override it, okay? We have to override it from the inside. That's what we have to do. You're not going to go and it's not like we're going to go with like an army. Like, our job as light workers is not to fight the physical, visible fight. Our job is to fight the invisible fight. And you fight that fight by understanding how to work your energy, your emotions, and your feelings and override the reality. That's how you win this war, okay? So everybody has to learn how to do that, so that we can actually have our own energy imprinted out there, right? Like, we emanate our own frequency. As many of us as can do this is why I do these trainings. As many of us as I can do this, we're going to tip the scales over, right? Like, we cleaned out 3D, which was great. And a lot of light workers are like, okay, 3D is done. Well, now what? Are you ready for the next part, right? You always have to be ready for the next part. You always, always, always have to be ready. You can't just destroy. You have to fill, okay? It's kind of like sage. You can't just sage a room and leave a vacuum, because that's what sage does, in case you don't know this yet, okay? Sage will clear the energy of a room, will take everything out, both light and darkness. Whatever you hold inside of you will be filled in the room next, okay? So if you're in a state of fear when you're saging because you think you're clearing, you're going to perpetuate fear in the room. It's going to come back. All the shit's going to come back. But if you hold light, if you know that, okay, this is done, let's visually fill the room with light, let's call Reiki in, let's call Archangel Michael in, let's call whatever you have, okay, fill it in, then it stays with light. That's the same thing. You can't blast out the fucking 3D grid and then it's done. And now what do you got inside of you? What are you going to push out there? Do you have fear or do you have love? Okay, that's the stuff you have to get figured out. Okay. So, feelings. Can't hold the bad ones inside of you. Got that? Like if it's a lower vibrational feelings, you have to raise them up. You have to do the alchemy. Use them to motivate you. Get in your feelings. Cry them out. Scream them out. Do the things. Whatever. There's many modalities. Get help. Work through that stuff. You have to get cleared out. It's time to be done with your personal dramas. This part of life, this chapter of life, is not about you anymore. This is about the human family. This is about the galactic family of light. So if you're still dealing with personal issues, you're going to get stuck in the past. This is global. Okay, so get resolved with your personal shit and move on to the global stuff. These are the things we came to do. This means family dramas. Okay. What do I mean time is running out? 5D is here, and if you don't know, this is what I said, so you're going to want to go back and watch this again, okay? The Pluto is going into Capricorn on Saturday, this Saturday, on the 25th. That's the destruction of the systems. Look at the world, if you must, turn on the news, and you will see that you're running out of time to be free in society. Okay, this is what I mean. You're running out of time to manifest the life that you want. You're running out of time to understand how to work things so that you are actually healed and living in a state of bliss instead of in a state of fear and in a state of dysfunction and in a state of distortion. That's what you're running out of time on. Because if you don't figure it out now, you're going to end up going like this and squishing into a system that will forever keep you oppressed. And then you're going to go into another karmic cycle. Yeah, nobody wants to go and start another karmic cycle of bullshit. I don't know about you, but I am taking on my sovereignty and power, and I'm walking out of this one. It's not going to be, I came to do a job. I'm very clear on that. I know what I need to do, and I know what it's going to look like, right? And this is stuff that I'm teaching how to do in the Metaphysical Mastermind, is how to really claim that sovereignty and how to get conscious access to all of the things to understand how to do this transition. But you just have to learn. I mean, if you want to feel good, unless you just, if you don't wake up now during this time, and if you don't learn the things that you came to learn, and if you are sitting on Zoom, social hour, and Netflix and chill, okay, you're going to get stuck in the cycles. You're going to get all of the stuff that's going to happen in the new 3D Earth that will be built. So, Earth is about to split. There will be like two realms. So it's, if you learn, if you close out your cycle of karma, you're moving one direction. If you don't, you're going to go the other way. That's it. So you can stay where you are if you want to. And then you just, go through another cycle. It's really not like there's ever any losing. It's just that to me, my soul is like, we came here to do a job. We didn't come here to go through matrix and matrix and matrix, right? So if you feel that, and if you feel like you have a purpose that's beyond, the daily stuff, then you just have to listen to the call of your soul. Okay. Healing modalities. Healing modalities, I get asked this a lot about certifications. Do you need certifications? Kundalini, Reiki, like all of these things. Okay. You don't. But if you believe that you do, then go and get them. You don't need any kind of certification. What you need is to be attuned to the frequency of the thing that you want to do. You can attune yourself, or you can have someone else attune you. You can teach yourself, you can learn through your higher self, or you can have somebody else teach you, okay? Do you decide? Look, nobody certified me to teach you how to astral travel. I had to figure that shit out all on my own, all on my skin, right? And then I'm teaching you how to do it because I know beyond doubt that that's my gift and that's what I do and that's what I know. So, and you feel it, and then you come to me and you're like, oh, I feel safe with her, right? Do I have a certification? No, because nobody is going to certify you on this stuff. So I mean, unless you're, doing like remote viewing programs with the CIA, which is not my jam, but that's, where they deal with the astral realms. So and that's a whole other chapter that we're just not going to get into. The point is, do you need to have a certification in order to teach? No. When I started teaching meditation, when I was like a few years ago, when I was like, how am I going to teach people about all these things and the angels and the things and, blah, blah, blah. I went and got certified as a meditation teacher. I do have certifications, for crying out loud. I have, an international business degree. I have things that I, accumulated. I'm a Reiki master. I have all of that. Is that what makes a difference in my life? No, it's the learning experiences, and it's the way that, I have grown beyond the attunement of Reiki. I have grown beyond the attunement of a lot of things, right? Kundalini is really good because it explains to me, it explains to you. The reason why I got into Kundalini was to explain to you guys how to bridge the gap between the physical and the spiritual. Okay, Kundalini is not necessarily like, I teach it and I practice it because it helps with the physical body, but that's not my zone of genius. That everybody does Kundalini. You don't come to me because I'm a Kundalini expert. You come to me because I am an expert of the astral planes and I can see the unseen, and you want to learn those things from me, and you want to understand how to navigate the cosmos and to reconcile yourself, right? So Kundalini is a tool. Reiki is a tool. Like, these things are a tool. So you kind of just have to figure out for you, in your case, can you learn things beyond the certification? Do you need it? If you feel like you need it, you do. If you feel like you're attracted to it and you want to learn from a specific teacher, do it. If you feel like you can teach the thing, this is what happened to me in Kundalini. I never got certified. 3HO did not interest me way before all of the shit happened with Yogi Bhajan and all of the stuff that came out. That wasn't my jam. I liked certain things and I understood certain things, and I really loved the meditative part of Kundalini. So I learned that, but I didn't go through their organization. Why? Because I saw the corruption a mile away. Now, do I talk shit about it? No, but I take the good and I use the good and I implement the good. Okay. So that's the thing. And that's what happens when you begin to go into these, certifications come with lineages, okay? Lineages is where your power lines go. So if you're a yoga teacher, for example, okay, you have a lineage, okay? That lineage is where the energy line gets drawn. And so when you tap into that lineage, when you use that lineage, the energy funnels that way. So at some point, you're going to realize that you don't want to be a part of anyone's lineage unless it truly does empower you. But for a lot of them, they're not good lineages. They're lineages that have to be cleared through. You want to just be sovereign onto yourself. Remember that. Sovereign onto yourself. This is a big deal. This is the words of this new century of 2020 on. You want to have your own energy line, your own lineage. You are your own lineage. If you knew how infinite you are, okay, and how amazing you are, like, you're eternal. You are your own lineage, okay? You really are. So instead of drawing onto lineages that go sideways, okay, through earth lines, you have to draw on lineages that are you. It's you, your higher self beyond that, okay, all the way up. Not through these earth timelines, but through the divine lines. That's where you want to be. Okay, with that being said, trust yourself to know if you feel the call of the soul to do something, then there's a reason. There's something that you will learn from that, even if you have to, later like clear out parts of the lineages. So nobody can ever really tell you, you have to know. Okay. Oh yeah, which brings me to that one thing. Why is this happening to my teeth? Brings me to that one thing that I recently found out. I had no idea that there are light worker groups that are activating people with codes. Nobody can fucking activate you, okay? This is the thing that I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Nobody can do the work for you. You are responsible for yourself. Like, you are the only person that is inside of your physical body. You are inside of your body. You have to live in it. Not them, not anybody else, not your mama, not your boyfriend, not your, No one, maybe your child for a little bit of time for women, okay? So don't do that. They don't have to deal with the consequences of the shit that they do to you. You know, I mean, that's what rituals are. That's what abuse is somebody inflicting something on somebody else. Be very careful, okay? Learn how to do the thing for yourself. Also, it's kind of like, you know, people come to me a lot, and those of you that have come to like my house for different sessions of clearing, and like I have attachments and hooks, and, you know, I need to take these out. If you have been, it's literally here because it's like here where I do my sessions, but I teach you how to do this stuff for yourself. It's useless for me to do the thing for you, because if I do it for you, then you're just going to go out there and manifest the same damn thing again, because you don't know how to work your energy. Okay. So, many people can attest to this, because it's like, well, can't you just do it for me? No, this is not the point. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Sometimes I do it because there's like things that, you know, are happening that are important, and I'll do it for you the first time, but I'm going to teach you how to do it. I don't get you like, you know, those people that get you like addicted to like coming, ooh, come back. We're going to do this other part. Ooh, yeah, I can help you with that whenever. That's drama. That's not empowerment. That's not anything you want to do. Okay. Like, you want to empower people to know how to do those things for themselves. Because what happens if you're not there? Do they just have to sit there with an entity sucking on them, on their neck, you know, like an energy vampire, because they don't know how to do that shit for themselves, and maybe you're on vacation? That's not cool. Like, it's not cool. We all have to learn how to manage our energy. So, point being is, nobody can activate you in the way that you can activate yourself. And if you get an activation from someone else, you're like part of their little, what are they called? Like, they're little minions. Does that make sense? Like, it's their frequency, it's their energy, it's not your energy. All of a sudden you have something else that is not you inside of you. Not the thing, not the vibe, okay? Not the vibe. So don't do that. Learn how to do it for yourself. Claim your power. Claim your power. Claim your power. You can do this shit, okay? Have some courage. Like, really, have some courage to figure out these things for yourself. Like, quit thinking that, I don't know this. Oh my gosh, I don't know this, okay? Stop that. If you don't know, find out. I'm sorry, all of you blondes. Clearly, I love you. I love the blondes. But what I'm saying is, quit claiming ignorance. Quit thinking that ignorance is cool. It is not cool. Okay, that's what society wants you to know. That's why they burnt things like the Library of Alexandria. Okay, that's why they burn shit. That's why they make it cool to be dumb, so that you don't know the knowledge that you need in order to resurrect yourself, in order to actually become sovereign. Because they want to keep you in their loops, in their little hamster wheel. Okay, cycle. Just wakey, wakey. Okay. Ascension symptoms and why. So ascension symptoms happen because the energy that is now blasting on our planet, okay, that's coming from where the Earth physically is located in our galaxy, in our solar system, and in our galaxy, is in a position to where we're getting blasts from the sun. These are called the Yuga cycles. They're cycles of time. They're really long cycles of time. And right now we're at the very edge of a 26,000 year cycle that puts us in a place where the plasma light, which is the photonic light, which is the light that holds the information, the high frequency, okay? The stuff that makes the Schumann resonance spike, like yesterday it was like above 100 again, right? Like in December, we had that whiteout. So it's the blasts, okay? And it's very high frequency. And so the Earth, the magnetic field around the Earth goes from being 7.8 hertz to being 110 hertz yesterday. This is the buzz. That's quite the jump. Think of it as an electric cardiogram, okay, for the Earth. So the Earth is stretching. The Earth is like, ooh, I am accommodating all of this like high frequency energy. And the heart is like, the heartbeat of the Earth is like, dun, 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 right? Because she has to accommodate all this energy. Guess what? We have to do the same damn thing, because we're on top of the planet. So the same blasts are coming to us. So when you see that, when you see those measurements, you're like, time to integrate. Okay, let's do the work. Let's spend some more time, right? Nothing is more important than that, because then you either feel like shit inside of your body or you feel good inside of your body. So I don't think very much is more important than that. okay? Because you can't hide it. Like, you can't hide it. This stuff is like, you can't hide it anymore, you know? If you feel like shit, you got to do something with your energy. That's basically what it is. So these ascension symptoms happen because the frequency inside of our cells is not high like the frequency that we're being blasted. Okay, so all of your cells inside your body are like shaking. They're like da 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 da. Your eyes are like shaking, so you have like blurred visions. Your ears are ringing. Da 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 da. Your heart is palpitating. You have anxiety. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the light like pushing in, and you're just like, what the fuck? I can't sleep. I can't do this. I have anxiety. Like, all of these things. Sometimes on the other side, when it vibrates so much, you're like, your body goes into shutdown, and you're like, oh my god, I can't move. Super lethargic. Like, can't move, can't function. You know. Like, super tired. So the key always is to raise your vibration, to have the energy inside of your cells vibrate to match that. Okay. So what I do and what I teach my students how to do in my courses is, when you see that there's an energy blast coming in and you feel it, because you feel the pressure coming in, you're like, boom, you're off. You know where to go. You know, turn on like Merkaba field on, and you work with your higher self. You go to in the astral planes to get that frequency, to get that download, literally like Neo in the Matrix, if you will. You go and you get that download of that frequency, you integrate it, okay, in your astral body, and then you come down, you bring it in, you bring it on earth, boom, you integrate it in your cell. The whole process maybe takes you like, you know, a couple hours, like, if that, if you get really good at it, you can do this in like a half hour, right? Like, you go, you download, you come back, take a moment, integrate, maybe take a bath, take a shower. Water always helps to integrate. And then you're good. And then you're like flying high, you know, and the other stuff doesn't bug you. You don't get the massive headaches. You don't get the third eye headaches. You don't get that stuff because the energy inside of your cells is already adjusted. Okay. Now, depending on how much work you've already done, or the work that has to be done, and some of these blasts do have to be integrated overnight. So you would go and download the energy in the astral planes, and then overnight your body syncs up. But that's a whole lot faster than having symptoms for a week, you know, 2 weeks, a month, some people for a year. Some people have, like, they message me and they're like, I have not been able to figure out what this is. Fibromyalgia is an ascension symptom. By the way, if any of you have like been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, that is absolutely an ascension symptoms. Fibromyalgia is energy that gets stuck inside of your cells. I mean, inside of your muscles, and that you're not using, you're not transmuting, you're not moving around. And because it's not integrating, right? Like these blasts of energy, they come into your muscles and then they don't integrate and they hurt. And so everything hurts. And I know it really well because I had to deal with that. And I was like, this is not my jam. I am not living with this thing. I'm going to figure out how to do this. Okay. I talk about things very easily like this because I've conquered a lot of shit. I had to have like heart surgery. I've had like teeth transplants. I've had like ovarian surgery. I've had like all sorts of shit has happened. I've had like ribs and bones and things that have popped out. I've had like, I don't even know, immune dysfunction. I've had mononucleosis. I've had like, what is it called? Endometriosis, all sorts of like immune system failures. And I had to learn how to rearrange my thoughts, my energy, everything about me to get healthy. Okay. To the point where now, okay. So the point is you can do it all. We have a minute remaining. So I love you guys. I'm going to jump back on for questions. I have like 15 minutes for questions. So remember that this next high level of stuff, I didn't get to talk to you about the galactic family, but this is the stuff I teach you guys how to actually do, these processes and these things. I teach you how to do this stuff in the mastermind. There are four more days for you to register. Okay. So if this is your kind of stuff, if you're like, I want to learn this shit, I want to know these things, I want to like function here, go look at it, moonbabetribe.com, click on Metaphysical Mastermind. Okay. I love you guys. I'm going to go back and answer your questions.